Hey, what's up, y'all? This is DaveTV. I'm here with Juliet Simms at the Vans Warped Tour, 21 years on the road.
Yep.
Vans Warped, 2015, San Antonio, and here we are. Have you been on since Pomona? How long are you on Warped?
I've been on from the start, yes.
And
from the first
Arizona's a bitch, everyone seems to say.
Woo, God. Arizona was like walking through like a wall of fire.
Exactly.
It was crazy. And then we got to Texas and it was actually really nice. It hasn't rained on us. It's been nice days, cool breezes.
A little rain this morning about 7, which I think kind of set the path for this nice,
Yeah.
I don't want to say cool because it's hot, but
Yeah.
the wind's blowing. you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell me about how you got on Warped Tour and what made that happen.
The first time I got on Warped Tour, I actually snuck on.
Oh.
I was not asked to be on the tour. I actually did some networking and I became friends with some bands that were on the tour. And I crashed, in their van for about 2 weeks. And I got myself a little pass. And I, at the time, was just an acoustic artist. So I went around in the mornings before the doors opened and I would make friends with nonprofit tents. So like To Write Love on Our Arms, the Keep Abreast tent, Music Saves Lives. And they would let me play in their tents during the day. And so after about a week of doing this, Kevin Lyman discovered me, and he actually gave me some catering passes to get some food. And then the next Warped Tour, I was back on with my band.
How awesome is that? Now that's a success story if I've ever heard it. So, did you have any stuff? You mentioned you have a new EP now.
Yeah.
Was there, like when you were out doing these acoustic things, were you able to hand your product, or was it just to get your name out and get heard?
Back when I did it in 2007, I did have a 3-song demo that I was giving away for like $1, I think.
For yourself or with the band, previous band?
It was with my band, Automatic Love Letter. They obviously couldn't, I was trying to sneak on, so I was just doing it solo, trying to build the name. And now I'm on as Juliet Simms, not my band anymore, and I actually did a crowdfunding for this EP through Pledge Music. It was very successful. And I'm playing the Journey stage with a full band, and my EP you can pick up on iTunes and Amazon. It's called All or Nothing.
And a YouTube video from the EP?
Yes, I just released a new music video for one of the songs on the EP called End of the World. You can check it out on YouTube. It's featuring actually my boyfriend Andy Biersack of Black Veil Brides.
I've heard of him.
And yeah, it's a heart-wrenching music video, but I'm very proud of it.
Well, let's touch that for a minute. So musicians and relationships, obligations to your careers and making it happen, both of you hands full. How do you make that happen?
Relationships are difficult, it's an exchange, and I think the basic foundation that makes a good relationship is supporting each other and wanting each other to win and succeed. And the fact that we both have such passion and love for music, that affinity, that broad affinity we both have for it, gives us something to talk about all the time, gives us something to create on with each other all the time, and the fact that we're both trying to do the same thing, it actually makes us stronger.
That's awesome.
And we completely support each other, and when the other one does really well, the other one's happy about it, and that's how you have to look at it, is just being stoked for the other person and supporting them.
Probably not ever happen, but if you were to tour together.
Wait, that's happening.
Like in one building,
Yeah.
This you could be touring with, I guess, anyone and never see them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you do get to see them on this, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, we live together at home, so obviously we're very used to seeing each other all the time. So, but, we have a job here to do. We're here to play, we're here to talk to fans, we're here to do, press, we're here to do, the TEI seminars that we're doing. But, we do make time to be like, okay, I've got 5 minutes, meet me for a coffee in the morning at this time, or we'll go for a jog in the morning with each other, or eat dinner at night with each other, and make time to see each other, but still do our job.
I heard it was Sloppy Joe's today.
Yes, Sloppy Joe's and vegan Sloppy Joe's.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was told them they were too young to remember, but Adam Sandler's Lunch Lady Land is the first thing I thought of.
Good.
Yeah.
Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe.
But, young guys will learn.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I make dwarf you in age as well, but you know, I listen to everything. My kid keeps me hip. He's out here checking out some bands and turned me on to a lot of great music.
That's cool.
So turning yourself on to great music, Warped Tour, perfect place. Are you able to check out bands while you're here? And
absolutely. I've actually recently become a huge fan of Paris.
Oh man.
Oh, she is the shit. Oh
my God.
Love me some Lynn.
Yeah.
She's killer. BB Rexa, who I'm actually sharing a bus with.
Oh, all right.
Killer. I mean, all the girls I would say on Warp this summer kick ass. New Year's Day, awesome.
Tat, one of my new
Tat,
favorites.
oh my God, she's so badass. Love her. Beautiful Bodies, Icon for Hire. We've got some badass bitches.
Amazing lineup, exactly.
I'm like so honored to be a part of this group of girls. And so if you're coming to Warp, check out all the girls because we rock.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And it used to be this heavy conversation about, you know, quotas and how many women versus men and stuff. And thankfully, in my opinion, and now you'd know better being on the tour, but it seems to have gotten away from that. Probably, I won't say equal because it's still smaller amount,
Right.
but I think a lot more talent, female-fronted bands, female bands, acoustic performers are appearing in the last 3 to 5 years on Warp than they ever did before.
Absolutely. You know, you got to hand it to Kevin too because he's been he's been taking girls under his wing and putting us out there, and you know he's his girl power sense that like of passion he has behind this summer is amazing. I think that you know for a lot of years. It is a man's world. The rock and roll world isn't easy for a female to make it in. You've got to be tough. You've got to have thick skin, and you've got to be able to brawl with the boys. And you know, for a while until like No Doubt and Paramore kind of kicked that door open, it was few and far in between. And now you know a lot more girls are gaining the strength and courage to do this, and Kevin is giving them the key to the kingdom. And I think that. You know, in the last few years, including this year, it's like it just shows how much more girls are coming out of the scene. And thanks to someone like Kevin, we have a chance.
I'm amazed at how he keeps his finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Because not only is he doing this, he's got all these other things in his cards. I'm like, how do you do that?
He's just a mad genius. Andy and I, we're close friends with the Lymans. We actually go to his house for barbecues and hang out all the time. And we were talking about this with Kevin. Me and Andy were talking last night. We're like, how are you able to like physically stand here and have a conversation with us and be like in present time having a conversation with us when we know you have about 1,000 things going on in your head at once? And it's just how he's built.
Some people can do that.
Some people can do it.
I try to focus on the moment. There's time for everything, and if there's not, well, it probably wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have that entrepreneurial like mad genius mind to be able to run this much stuff at once.
My first Warped Tour was the second one, which was all of the punk rock classics and stuff. Kid Rock getting turkey legs thrown at him. I'll never forget that. That was beautiful.
Awesome.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh my God.
So it's great to see it have come from that to this and still be a relevant force in the music.
Yeah.
It brings together all of the big names that the fans who attend this every year dream of seeing on one show, and it gives new people that opportunity to play to a crowd they'll never see again.
Absolutely.
The Ernie Ball contest winners,
Yep.
the local openers, the whatever, you know, and how does, like, you'd never dream something that cool. When I grew up, we maybe had like the Texas Jam once a year or something, and there would be the California Jam, I guess you may have heard, but you know, it's just like a one-off thing a year. This is a tour that hits every town pretty much. It's amazing.
It's really cool. I mean, it's like, in a sense, it's kind of like a version of a touring Coachella, so to speak, you know what I mean? And it is, I personally feel like it is the strongest rock staple there's been in the last 21 years for breaking rock acts and breaking world famous bands and artists now.
Careers are built off this.
100%. I mean, you've got, like I said, No Doubt, Green Day, Paramore, Blink-182, Kid Rock, Echo Smith.
Some Andy guys done real well with it too.
Phil Bryce. I mean, seriously, it is a killer platform to make it in the rock world and in music.
Do you think you guys ever collaborate? Is that like untouched territory musically, you know?
We've done some collaborating. He actually sang on my new EP.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he sang on a song called Not Broken Yet. And when they did Wretched and Divine with John Feldman, I sang on a song called Lost It All. Yeah, and he was in my music video, and so we do try to, and I bring him out actually every day.
Oh, cool. People freak out.
And and he sings with me. It's awesome. Yeah. And so we love writing with each other and getting each other's perspective and ideas and all of that. Yeah.
That's awesome. You can do it because I mean it doesn't work well typically, honestly, in what I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after Warped Tour, do you have plans? Are you recording? Are you doing more touring? What's up?
Well, I mean, I did this this new EP that I just put out, all on Pledge Music. So I'm a free agent as of now. So I'm kind of using this summer to kick ass and show that look what I did on my own, kind of a deal. And I would like to keep touring after this and make a record this winter. That would be what I would want to have happen, and usually what I want to have happen happens.
Love it.
So I think we can plan on that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
Put the vibes out.
Put it out there, man,
Yeah. That's cool. So crowdfunding you mentioned and getting this EP together. I don't not blow my own horn, but it's been beautiful for me as well. I went away off TV. I did it from 1990 to 07 and got tired and the whole thing. Quit and did internet only. And I got amazing build up on my YouTube channel, which was great, but I still missed my local vibe because I was on cable access locally. Yeah. And so I tossed it around forever, and my kids were like, you should do that, and other people were like, you should do that. I'm like, but they have to pay all these fees to take the classes and register again. We got to live. I don't have the money. Right. And they're like, well, why don't you crowdfund, And I'm like, all right. And in less than 24 hours, it was met.
Oh
so I was like,
God,
they love me.
Amazing.
They really want to, So I put everything I have back into this.
Yeah.
And I hear you're coming from that.
Yeah.
It's all your passion. You're out here playing, like you said, to get your music out, the acoustic guitar or not. You got a band. You're busting ass every day. So that's why I do what I do, is to see people like you move forward.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad that we're on a same ground and of respect for the crowdfunding. It's what's great about it too is it builds a much stronger and more personal relationship with your supporters and your pledgers and your fans, and it creates, I feel like, a lifelong bond.
The bond, yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. I love it.
You in touch on social media with all your fans?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I mean, I'm on every single day. I heart people's videos, I retweet fans, I answer fans. Doing Pledge Music, it wasn't just getting fun, it wasn't just receiving money. I did like handwritten lyrics, I did Skype concerts, phone calls. I sold things I wore on The Voice. Twitter shout outs, all of this kind of stuff to, as incentives to help fund the EP, but it gets you into communication with every single pledger, and it's amazing. It's a lot of work, but it was really incredible. Good experience. I
finally linked my Facebook and my Twitter, and I get how they work together, and I'm good with that. I'm all over the YouTube. My older boy is in like 8 bands, and he's like, you really got to do Instagram, and he's trying to tell me about Snapchat. So I got Instagram going, but I'm my cat or my dog, and I was like, it's got to be about the show, man. And I'm like, I'll try. But Snapchat I don't have yet. Are you doing Snapchat?
I am on Snapchat. Just search for me, JULIET SIMMS. Awesome. And I'm having a lot of fun with it because I just started it this tour, and it's so much fun. Yeah. I love it.
How did you mentioned The Voice, how did that happen? What was your experience with that?
I was actually on Warped Tour in 2011 as Automatic Love Letter. I did the whole tour acoustically, and it turned out the woman that was in charge of casting was a huge fan of mine, my band Automatic Love Letter, and so my manager got an interesting phone call one day. The tour was all over, I didn't have a record deal at the time. I was off of Epic Records, and I had just released an acoustic record off of Paper and Plastic. So I was kind of a free agent, and I'd been doing this for so many years and trying with my band for so long. It was kind of like one of those like fuck it moments. Fine, I'll try a singing competition show. I mean, fuck, this is so hard. And like, what do I have to lose? And so I went in, every audition that I went in, before I would say like the live rounds, I was still like skeptical. I was still like, is this like stupid? Am I ruining my career doing this? Am I ruining everything I've built for so many years, coming out of a garage?
Identity.
Yeah, exactly. Am I making it all crumble away by doing, you know, a singing competition show, which was something that morally I was never really for, you know, before I did it. And, you know, it turned out to be actually a really great experience. It taught me a lot as a vocalist and as a front woman. It gave me a lot of great exposure and opened a lot of doors. And, you know, because of it, I have a bigger fan base now. I'm, you know, a much more confident front woman. And I feel like I discovered who I really am as Juliet Simms, the solo artist on the show. And so it gave me a good platform for that. And
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good experience. A couple people out of Austin that have done it and had great experience as well, so they have nothing bad to say.
Yeah.
You know, you can get caught up in that. I mean,
oh, trust me, I have bad things to say too about it. But
sure, right? I'll bet, right? But we're all on the positive tip today, right?
It's not all rainbows and gumdrops.
Song selections are crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, my coach listened to a lot of my opinions and advice, so I got to sing some. I pretty much sang like Motown and classic rock the whole time.
Yeah.
So I had
who was
CeeLo.
Oh, right. On.
Yeah.
Well, CeeLo did Nakia from Austin, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The guy with the big voice.
Yeah, so good. Nakia was on season 1.
That's what it was. I thought it was 1 or 2, and I couldn't remember.
It was 1.
So that's right.
Yeah, because I remember when I was on, Nakia was tweeting me and giving me the love, and I was like, well, yeah.
Hell yeah. He's doing so well with his stuff.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Absolutely. So I've been asking folks a wacky question. Do you remember what your last Google search was?
Okay, so I haven't used a computer for about 11 days now. Just my phone, because computers and Warped Tour are too much. The last thing I Googled, was how to bake Chilean sea bass.
Got to be done right.
Yeah, I was cooking. It was our last day before we left for Warped, and I cooked me and Andy like a huge meal at home. And yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, cats have won. There's some various cat searches. I'm like, really?
Well, I have 2 cats. We have 2 cats, a brother and a sister. Our rescue kitties. They're tuxedo kitties. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Femme and Crow. Anyways, they're enough cat to like, they're so entertaining. Oh my God.
That's great.
I know why people Google cats. They're the most entertaining existing live thing on the planet, but we just kind of just sit and watch ours all day long. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We have a great cat, but he looks at us like, what do you want?
Oh my God.
You know, he's one of those. So
Ours think that they're humans. They actually think that they're humans. It's crazy.
Juliet, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
It was great speaking with
Absolutely.
you as well.
I appreciate your time. Juliet Simms, people, on the Warped Tour. Check her out, her new EP. Pull up the video on YouTube. And if you ever get a chance to see her live, come to Austin.
Awesome. Oh yeah,
Yes.
I'd love to.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thank you.